Hey, welcome to the Degeneration Podcast, episode 288. Wow, we're getting there. We're getting close to 300.
We're fucking cruising.
Cranking them out. So, Patrice is here, as you just heard.
Hello.
Patrice, have you ever gotten as close to death as I have been? Like, within it almost happening? Not like, I saw... I was at a place moments like shortly after somebody died in it or whatever. Not like that, or like I saw my. I
know what you mean, but can I answer that as like myself, like me being in that position too? Alright. So when I was a junior in college, I think this was senior year. Went to Arizona. Went to Arizona for this college soccer tournament. It was for it was called Club Nationals, the Club National Championship. So you had to qualify. It was the best club soccer teams of universities across the country. We were certainly one of the better teams, if not the best. The amount of quality we had on our team was great. Didn't do that well in the tournament.
Yeah, it happens.
And my desire was there. I was pissed off because I didn't play as much, but the reason was because I was such a drunk off the field.
Yeah.
And I was just doing a bunch of drugs and being a fuckboy. But fun trip.
Fuckboys fuck though. Or try to fuck. Were you trying to fuck? Because Patrice. I would say Patrice does use apps, but he is not a fuckboy because he doesn't make much effort to fuck.
That's okay. I'm okay with not being a fuckboy now.
Okay. Cool.
Then though, I made moves and they worked out half the time, but almost all of them were when I was drunk. So I mean, my batting average was okay, all things considered.
Yeah.
Not the point of the story.
Always the point of the story. I bat 100 too. It's all good.
Batting 100. Okay. You're not bad. You're batting better than 100.
Yeah,
Let's say you're like a 250 guy.
250 guy. I'm a 250 hitter. Over the Mendoza line.
Yeah, Patrice had been on the DL for years.
Yeah. You're still in the minor leagues, striking out.
Single A.
Striking out, looking in independent ball, single A. Oh, that was a backdoor slider. Give me a credit
come on,
for that.
Man. That was a good look.
I looked at it
good take there, Patrick.
I looked it all the way through the glove. That was good.
That was good. Strike. What? But so I actually have great memories from this trip. It was really fun being with my teammates, and we would play a couple games, then we'd go back to this hotel, and there was all these other club soccer teams staying in the hotel with us. So it was
dudes.
There was girls teams too. It was the best part because it was like they had the men's tournament and the women's tournament at the same place.
So it was like the Olympics for almost.
Yeah, it was like the almost.
The Olympics of almost. Yeah.
But it was fun, man. There was a pool, there was a jacuzzi. Management was getting pissed at the teams because we'd be down in the pool and be like, get out of the pool. And be like, go fuck yourself for not getting out. Because there's so many of us. We're like, what are you going to do? Call the cops? Cops got called a couple times.
For being in the pool? For too many quantity people?
Too many quantity, noise violations and stuff. But
I love noise violations.
They're so petty. It's like, you're too loud. You're having too much fun. Sir.
In a hotel, you paid to be here. You gave us money.
Yeah.
The money's for you to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
So I can trash this place.
So I can trash it. Let me be a degenerate in peace.
Yeah, god damn it. God damn it.
Oh, motherfucker. It was a fun trip. We'll get to the point of this story in a second, but I remember we had a couple freshmen on the team that made the squad, because we actually had a really big club soccer team.
Yeah.
But for the actual team that got picked, it was relatively small, right?
Yeah.
It was probably 16 to 17 players. So you field 11 and then
that's not that
subs.
many, yeah.
So we took a couple freshmen with us, and this one freshman, he was like, hey, my dad just called me. He's coming into town. He wants to come party with us at the hotel. We were like, fuck yeah!
Divorced dad's coming.
We were like, the dad's coming! It was so cool. He bought us so much alcohol. It was a lot of fun.
Was he divorced?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was single at the time.
Yeah, because, alright, the married dad is probably not going to,
no, he's not going to come out, right?
Corrupt his son further. His already, corrupted athlete's son. And try to score women with him.
Divorced dad.
Let's do a threesome. Divorced dad? He's going to go
He's going to be like, you're my bro.
You're not my son. Yeah, he's pounding rocks. That's my little brother.
Yeah, that's my little bro. People say we look alike. There's a couple year age difference.
Yeah.
But so all the time at the hotel was
sad
fun.
dad.
Sad dad. we would play cards and like shoot dice and shit. Just spit on your laptop.
Oh yeah, good work.
And
That's
the keyboard.
Not the first time. Yeah.
No, it's not. But so like when we weren't at the hotel, we would like take trips around town. We took one trip to the Grand Canyon and Arizona. So this is where this comes into play as like how close to death. There's like people, for the record, people die at the Grand Canyon every year.
Yeah, there's an average number.
Yeah.
So if they're below the average, just push a few people in.
They're like, fuck, man,
it's
we can't
fucking
get
December.
that funding.
Yeah, we go. Phew.
If enough people don't die, we won't get the safety funding increased.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're like, too many people die. We got to make it safer.
Yeah.
And if
we're gonna fill in the canyon.
That's
their project. They're really trying to fill it in. And they just need more deaths.
Why not just fill it with cement? No, it needs to be with people.
Yeah.
Human skulls.
Human skulls will be in this cavern.
It will be. People will say, what is that, an antelope? I'll be like, no, that's homeostasis, or homeosapiens.
Homeostasis is staying the same.
It's a homeostasis homo sapien.
Yeah.
That's a homo.
Stapling.
That's stapling.
Yeah, stapling?
Stapling.
A gay guy that's stapling.
Stapling, he'd be like, hey, can I borrow your stapler? He's like, shush, okay. Staples your papers.
Swing line!
I need to refill that stapler. You can fill my stapler any day, honey.
What?
I don't know.
So people died, almost?
So people died. No one died while we were there.
Oh, that's
good.
But,
and there's different routes and, like, different outlooks you can go to.
Unless someone deserved to die that was there.
Unless, to be honest, of the people on my team, I probably deserve to die more than anyone else.
Really?
Damn, that was a piece of shit. So...
That's saying a lot for a soccer player.
I mean,
there's a lot of soccer player pieces of shit out there.
There's a lot of athletes that are pieces of shit.
Well, lacrosse is the most pieces of shit.
Lacrosse, I would say football's way before soccer. The amount of people that beat their wives that still have contracts in the NFL, you don't really hear about that with soccer players.
No, I'm just thinking, like, soccer's are low-level assholes. Hockey are, like, jovial assholes that fight, and you're like,
hockey guys aren't bad.
Soccer will slip a roofie in you. Soccer players are more like roofiers.
I think a lacrosse player is more likely to slip a roofie.
Well, yeah, but soccer, of all the sports, is number 2.
What, in terms of...
Most likely to roofie you is male soccer players.
What about tennis players?
No. It's an individual sport. They know how to close.
It's true.
Yeah, it's like, it's all for them. It's all about them, and they got that swagger. I can hit a ball 103 miles an hour. Why am I going to drop some Spanish fly or whatever?
Because they could probably
GBH or GHB, whatever
they
it's
could
called.
Probably take the Monsieur, can I borrow your comb? And then he just like fucking picks out a drink from across the bar and fucking side top spins a roofie 30 meters into this girl's drink, and he's like, give it 3 minutes. And you're like,
I will take her out.
Djokovic, that was so good. You would have won if you didn't.
It was Djokovic.
It was Djokovic.
No, I think that's a lot less of a roofie sport. I feel like number 1 is lacrosse, and soccer number 2, and then there's a distant gap between whatever the next highest.
What about rugby? I feel like rugby guys are pretty stand-up.
I feel like they don't care about sex. They only care about, like, wrestling, rugbying with other guys.
Yeah, you wouldn't...
And, like, getting wasted. And they're too drunk to think about sex at a certain point.
Exactly. And then they just go back to the hotel. I bet rugby players have there's a bunch of gay rugby players that are, like, really into it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a sport. Athletes are... There's probably a higher percentage, I would think, of people that are actually gay. Because you throw in... a lot of female athletes that tend to have a higher testosterone level than your average non-athletic woman might. I mean, I have no science to back this up,
but
at all.
Yeah,
but you do see a higher percentage of, at least in a high level of basketball, of women that are lesbian or bisexual, that are openly so.
Correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, never slipped a roofie in a drink yet, but while I was at the Grand Canyon, there's these different outlooks, right?
Yeah.
And at the time, this was at a stage in my life where I was feeling pretty fucked up, right?
Yeah.
It was probably like within the peak or shortly after my peak of like drug use, self deprecation. Probably some self-defecation, loathing.
We know you like to defecate in your pants, at least pee. So the poop's got to be there.
Yeah, well, the pee is more in boxers, not necessarily pants. Okay, I don't really wear pants when I sleep.
Oh, what do you wear? The women and men of, particularly the men of Degenerate Nation audience, want to know what you wear.
I wear
to sleep.
Silk nylon mix boxers.
Ooh.
They're called Hanes Super Hug with extra pack.
Hanes Rub and Tug.
It's called Sam's. Hanes,
Sam's Club Rub and Tug.
The Sam's Club Rug and Tug. It's they're nice. They fit.
You're a Grand Canyon fuckboy.
Man, so the closest I've been to death is there's these outlooks, and they have kind of stuff roped off, or like areas that you're supposed to go, but people go beyond it and take pictures
Because they're stupid.
Yeah, so pretty much I have pictures over by the edge.
Because you're stupid.
I have pictures over by the edge, and I'm not denying there was a lack of intelligence, but there was. I just didn't care. And I decided, and my teammates have recounted this to me before, that they thought I was going to jump. I got down on the ground and crawled up to the edge and looked over because I wanted literally like a point of view look of peering down over the rock and looking at the scale of how far of a drop it was. Because that's how fucked up my mind was. I was like, I want that mind fuck. I want to see that. I want that feeling.
Like standing over in that building in Chicago, I think it's the Hancock building, or what used to be the Sears Tower or whatever, one of those two.
Yeah.
At the glass floor, you see it in girls' dating profiles, right?
Of course. Yeah. Of course.
How cliche is that?
One, yeah. That one and the Seattle Needle.
Yeah, the Seattle Needle.
Or the stupid fucking ferry-go-round or merry-go-round in England, in London.
Oh, yes. And the toll booth things, or the phone booth thing.
Toll booth selfies.
We just see how many, the phone booth selfies, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, but, like, only this was, like, real. Like, you could fall, like, not with, like, in the Chicago building, the ground would have to, the fucking floor would have to open. It just looks scary because you're looking down, you're like, holy shit. But this is, like, legit terrifying, I'd imagine, to any sane person
that's like, yeah.
Do you still have the pictures?
I didn't want to risk a picture of me getting that close. I still have pictures of like me and actually let me.
Yeah, I want to. So you did it and you didn't even get the shot.
Well, it's because it wasn't about the shot.
You wanted to see the beauty in your own eyes.
Yeah, man, fuck a shot. I want to have that personal experience.
Well, that's why you've gone like skydiving and stuff. You have that streak in you.
I'm glad
I didn't tell you to fucking piss off the roof. You would have died.
No, I would have been sober. I would have done it.
Oh, well, you still would have died. You could easily fall sober.
So let's go.
I mean, it was the most terrifying moment of my life. Oh, wow, dude.
So this is how close. That's just a picture of me and my friend. That's one of my old roommates. But I came out to, like, that point and got all the way to the edge and literally crawled up and looked. And, like, I was on my knees, right?
Yeah.
And so I got to the edge, and I remember looking down. And had I gone forward, like put my weight forward more, I could have easily like egg rolled off the edge.
Oh my god, man!
And after
I'm gonna eat this taco.
Fuck yeah, tacos on the cast. Tacos on the cast. Put it in my ass.
Continue talking about your near death.
And that was insane. It was so fucking cool. But that's how, like, listeners, if you are versed in the drug world or like for adrenaline, you're constantly having to like try other things to like get that same feeling, right? You always want to try something else new, something crazy. And at the time, I was like, I want to fucking see that. I want to see the depth. I want to see what it's like to have that stimulus and that fear and the rush of adrenaline of like fight or flight, of seeing the depth of like thousands of feet.
Fight or flight is when an external force is on you. That was not an external force. That was your own internal idiotic.
Not necessarily an external force. In that situation, it's like people would either back up or like fight that fear and stay in that moment.
Oh, okay. But you created the fear.
Yeah, but it was
different.
It is to an extent, but I don't know. It's because certain people wouldn't even want to get near that edge. I got near the edge and it was like,
living on the edge.
It was awesome, man. In hindsight, it was fucking crazy, and I probably wouldn't do that again. And my teammates were like, dude, we thought you were going to, like, jump. Some of them were like, nah, man, he wasn't going to. And then people are like, dude, what are you doing? Why would you crawl up to the edge like that? Which is what sane people would say. But to reiterate, was not very sane at that moment.
And this is other fuckboy soccer players like trying to tell you to be better.
There was only a couple douchebags on my team. The majority of them were pretty like stand-up, decent guys.
Is it because they were club level and not they were club level douchebags and not like
varsity level? Oh, dude, the guys on varsity soccer were far bigger douchebags. There was only a couple guys on the varsity team I liked. It was pretty much polar opposite on club.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I feel like that goes with the territory.
Yeah.
Varsity athletes have like a self-created pedigree that they think they have to live up to and egos.
And especially like soccer, like, I mean, in this country, no one gives a fuck about soccer players.
I disagree.
You think so?
Yeah, maybe not so much with your. It's not so much with your demographic.
Maybe some women like that in high school like care about the soccer players.
I think it's much more popular with people younger that are in like in between our age gap. It's popular in there, and it's certainly popular.
College soccer is not popular at all.
I didn't say college. I'm talking professional or
no, I'm not
soccer
talking professional. I'm talking about your average soccer player, like your average like stud soccer player, which I presume that you were on some level because you were recruited. So you were a stud soccer player. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you.
You got some residual, not confidence, but a little swagger that's there somewhere because you were anointed as athletic. And you worked at it, and therefore you were given
correct
the keys to the kingdom,
sort of. Comparing, if you're going to use the college argument, sure. But in, like, a sense of, like, national fandom and, like, appreciation for the sport, it's popular.
Fifth. It's fifth. It's nice. Fourth, maybe, depending on who you are.
Yeah. In the world, though, it's number one.
Yeah. And it's number one in the world.
I would say people probably care more about, like, college fucking lacrosse and college tennis than they do college soccer. College soccer is not really
no one gives a shit about college lacrosse except at like those northeast schools.
Yeah, like
or like Maryland and Virginia and shit.
Yeah, I hate lacrosse.
It's whatever. They think they're football players and then they think they're soccer players.
Yeah, pick one.
They got the violence of one and the prissy attitude of the other at the same time.
Yeah,
I hate it.
Lacrosse players are the epitome of like unlikable in terms of sports.
Yeah.
That, and I don't particularly like football players.
It's like, rugby is a hybrid of a sport, too.
I don't mind rugby players.
But it's quirky, right? And the Australian football, you're like, all right, I fuck with those guys.
Yeah.
But lacrosse is quirky and adapted from an ancient, like, Native American or Native South American, whatever.
It was
Native Central American game.
Yeah.
But it's played almost exclusively by white Northeastern or Mid-Atlantic people.
Exactly. Yeah. Just
with money. Like,
you know what we call that?
What?
Cultural appropriation.
That is cultural. Lacrosse is cultural appropriation. Exactly.
Yeah. Why doesn't anyone ever come out against lacrosse?
Because no one gives a fuck about it.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
man,
it's all right. It's fine.
And then you get these. I've seen. There's like always these random teams like exactly what we're talking about, like Northeastern and Mid-Atlantic teams like UNC, UVA, Maryland,
Virginia,
like Dayton, Virginia, and then there's always like a token or two black guy that's like, man, fuck these white kids. I'm gonna play this sport. I'm gonna get way better than you at this sport.
They're so good at it,
and they're ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, like look at like hockey. There's starting to be more black players in hockey. It's just not as popular, and that partially because most of the hockey players are either Canadian or from like Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
And there's not as many black people in Eastern Europe and to a lesser extent in Canada.
Agreed.
Like it's just not. And then it's not a popular sport in most places where there is a greater concentration of black people.
Hockey's not going to be your go-to in the South.
No, and it's basketball. It used to be baseball, but there's less parks and stuff. People aren't playing like stickball anymore, you know?
No, not really, which is kind of sad.
It sucks. Stickball is fucking awesome. Baseball is fucking awesome to just play in your neighborhood.
I love baseball.
If I'm ever a parent, I am 100% getting involved in some type of like activity with kids so they can like interact with people that have common interests. At least some type of sport. Even if they're unathletic, I'd pick an unathletic sport.
Sure,
but
right? You want to be able to have them be active. I'm not going to let my kids play. I'll let my kids play like touch football and play like, oh, I'll be receiver, you be like the safety or the cornerback, but I'm not gonna let them put pads on and go mash their heads into each other
with their neighbors. No,
fuck.
Would you let them play like little league football and pee wee football and high school football?
No, probably not.
No, because I mean
the risk for brain injury
it's also like we have a higher risk for that type of thing because we already had brain issues. I've had like 2 concussions, dude, and I think it fucked me up.
I've had like 8.
Holy shit. Well, yeah, because you're going at a point of contact a lot. Was it all from soccer?
There was 3 that were diagnosed, like probably at least like 5 or 6 were like, I had a concussion.
And you just went the wrong doctor, basically.
Or like didn't even go to a doctor.
Oh,
like,
dude.
Like
I didn't either.
Like in college all the time, like I would fall down or something and be like, oh, I'm good, and be like...
In practice and stuff?
No, just like out drinking or doing something stupid, and then it happened a lot in high school too, where like you hit hard and you kind of whiplash on a save, and you're like, nah, man, like I'm good. And then like the next couple of days, you're just like, man, I'm really tired. I'm dizzy. It's getting really hard to read. Lights hurt. It's like, you probably have a concussion.
You definitely should always stop when you hit your head.
Yeah.
Never really stood by that. Not do it. Oh, an idiot. So you're not alone in being a fucking idiot. You know.
Too much pride.
Oh, I don't know if it was pride in my case. I just was like, oh, I'm probably okay. Like ignorance. Yours was pride. Mine was ignorance.
Well, it's because like I can't admit I was bad at...
And I was poor and didn't want to go to the doctor. So I'm like, I'm good. I just won't drive. I wasn't driving there anyways.
Yeah.
I didn't drink.
Dude, I drank on a concussion.
After a concussion? Is drinking on a concussion amazing or what?
Dude, no. I mean...
I'm kidding, audience. No. Don't drink on a concussion.
Fuck no. I mean, like, amazing's not the right...
It's amazing.
It's not the right word to use at all. You're certainly going to get drunk more, and you're going to feel head drunk.
Yeah.
It's not amazing. You'll get drunk, but you also, like... Depending on the severity of your concussion, you could hurt. But I remember having one where they didn't give me painkillers because they would never give you painkillers for a concussion.
Yeah.
But I was taking like aspirin or something else, and they're like, yeah, you shouldn't drink while you have a concussion. I was like, fuck that, dude. Like, I remember partying in the dorm freshman year, and they're like, Patrick, you're not going out, right? I was like, no, man, I'm just gonna get drunk here. And I was like, it's equally as bad.
Yeah. Probably worse. Because you could just die and no one would know what happened to you.
Yeah, as opposed to being out there and be like, man, we can get rushed from the hospital, come back, oh, Pat's just asleep.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, well, today was fucking awesome. Hey, Pat, are you awake? You want to get DP dough or whatever it is?
You know, DP dough, the pizza place?
You want to get pizza? And he'd be like, Pat, where's Party Pat? And you're fucking dead because you're like, friends at that level don't understand how to give a fuck about each other, mostly. Most kids just don't know how to give a fuck about themselves or each other, and so they're like, oh, he's fine.
Oh,
like,
dude, he's
I think he's stupid, and I think I'm gonna stay with him so he doesn't drink.
Yeah.
Is what I would think. Let's play some video games or something. And when it doesn't work, because he's stupid, because he's got a concussion, let's just talk, and I'll just give him water and make sure he doesn't fall asleep until he's ready. There was not a single person on that floor, probably, that would have done that.
Yeah.
You know?
No, there wasn't. I have just so many memories of being in school, and I'm sure you do too.
They floated back when I was at Penn State for the wedding.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But like this, there's one thing that we did. It was called like the Men of Madison. I think I've told you about this, where you get like a girl in the dance team, a freshman. It happened every year, but a girl in the dance team would ask you to like be their date to like this function, and then like all the men that got asked would like learn a dance routine. We would perform it at the halftime of a basketball game, and everyone would be fucked up. All the guys would be fucked up while we're performing it. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. I remember I did that. I had like this Men of Madison thing, and me and my friend who lived in the dorm with me took this like European form of Xanax, but it was in like a liquid powder form. and
you like the airborne type of shit?
No, not
like the powder or the tablet you dissolve or whatever. And
it was
put in...
so he was like he was a crazy like drug chemist.
European is that the microdoser you told me about?
Yeah.
The European fucking Xanax, so you could do a simple a nice dance routine with a girl.
We were like, yeah, let's do it. And we'd been doing
with a pretty girl.
Dude, I didn't care about the girl. The girl wasn't that cute. I was like more attracted to other girls on the team, and it was like
because it's a dance team. I mean, but it's still a dance routine.
Yeah, but we still learned.
Usually
here's the fun part is we still learned the routine and we still did it, but we had fun and we were fucked up. But the story, I always remember this, is he had this bottle. It was like this pill bottle that he'd washed, and there was this a powder residue in it that he would go through and he would weigh out the amount and put them in tablets. So he was making his own doses, and he would sell them to people in the dorm and like around campus. And he was like, "Oh, Patrick, all right, there's not enough left to weigh out. We can lick our finger and take like a scoop of it around." So it was an unweighed dose, and we did like 3 licks of our finger and like took all the residue, and we're like drunk, and we did our dance routine. Don't remember the dance routine.
Of course not.
When I got back, I was so fucked up. I was like, man, I gotta take a nap. That same night was club soccer initiation, and I got absolutely destroyed. And I remember coming back later that night, I was basically dead. I was like, my roommates stripped me down because I was like unconscious.
Oh my god! And then fucked you because they went to JMU, so that's what they did. Yeah.
They didn't need to slip a routine.
No.
I did the work for them.
You were perfectly willing anyways, regardless.
Yeah, right? Yeah. He would have said yes.
Yeah, that's the logic.
Yeah, that's what everyone says.
Yeah.
But they put me in a shower, in this dorm shower, for like, I was in there for like 5 or 6 hours, just sleeping under the water until I woke back up. And there's a video of me, my roommate, I want to find the video and be able to show it to you. Yeah. And just show you how stupid I was. I was literally like, curled up against the wall, and like my legs were crossed in a position where you couldn't see my asshole or my dick, and it's hysterical.
They're like spraying you with an elephant hose and like.
No, I mean they're just like, Pat's fucked up. Yeah, it's like, dude, I could have been dead, and you're like filming a corpse.
They didn't call anybody. They filmed you. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't have wanted them to. I would have rather probably died
in a shower, in a dorm shower.
Yeah, than go to the hospital. My parents probably know, because I was, my whole time in college, I was like living this, I wanted to do things my way and wanted to have all this fun
I did it my
way.
I thought that the fucking, that's nice. I thought that like getting super fucked up was like an alternative, and what seems always at the time, for a long time until you get out of it, like an attractive alternative to being with someone that you find attractive, but you had that, and you were still choosing to get fucked up.
I was trying to like,
I mean, I did to an extent, but I was like too anxious to date anyone.
Yeah, I was trying to find like a nice balance of, and it worked for a little bit, and then my needs and desires started to shift. It would be like, oh man, I feel good, like I'm a little high, I have a nice buzz from being high, and I have like a couple beers in me, I feel pretty lucid, and I would like talk to girls and stuff, and then
would it work when you were lucid?
Yeah, it would work, but
to
like
a degree.
And I would try to like bounce back and forth, be like, all right, I'll come over here, do a little blow or smoke some weed or and drink. All right, now I like that, but now I want to like the girl side. But then I would like not find the equilibrium and be like, I'm too fucked up, and so I would go and try to talk to girls or like make it work socially and be like, it's not gonna work, it's not worth it, let's just go get fucked up with the boys. And that would be a pattern, but that pattern would start to shift more and more to the side of getting fucked up, and the pendulum wouldn't swing as far back to the social side. It'd be like, it would only swing to the want or the desire or wanting to want the desire.
I was always kind of swinging one way or the other about trying to focus on either trying to focus on women too much or focusing too much on just the fun aspect and like not the balance that you need. I mean, you throw the studies in there, but I mean, I'm just talking from a social level. Like, you want to just like develop and make a diverse set of friendships, and because some of them might actually last.
Yeah, and I think that's one of my biggest regrets, and I can certainly change it now. But I made some fantastic friends freshman year. I had like the luxury and the ability to meet a lot of people through different avenues because I was on the soccer team. The dorm style that I was in, met some really cool fucking people that are now really successful, and stayed in touch with them sophomore year. But as I continued down like my rabbit hole of like isolating, anxious, like non-diagnosed anxiety and depression, and fueling that with drugs and my habits, I started to distance myself somewhat from
that's relatable
from the majority of people that
were going places
that like I met. There's still a couple of them I stay in contact with that like know me really well and stood by me and were like really close with me through all that shit. I don't talk to them as often, but there's a couple like solid people that I do talk to that are like I'm happy to see me come out the other side and be like who I am now, as opposed to like.
Well, you would have really earned it more than them because you were saddled with substance, a propensity to use substances.
Yeah.
Because you have.
I have an addictive
personality. Not only that, but also like having anxiety. You want to soothe it. Like your first thing out of bed is to try to soothe your anxiety. Really, and depression is a factor too.
Yeah.
I mean, some people with depression like don't have the same anxiety, or they don't have the same desire to like just get the fuck and do any blow they can, like anything, any powders or drinks that they can put in their gullets.
Some people do, and I was certainly one of those people, especially in college.
Was like you were like 3 for 3, as was I. I mean, I didn't blow and stuff, but I drank. But the thing with drinking, I feel like if you're just drinking beer and like bottom shelf liquor, you will last longer with it, but it's more insidious than the drugs are really easier to burn out on faster, I think.
I agree.
Because it's less socially acceptable. And so you're like, oh, I don't know about this.
Man.
But alcohol, which is a drug, alcohol is a drug, is more socially acceptable, so you're always going to be able to find someone to get a beer with or get 9 beers with. And usually there's going to be one person that, even if they're not drinking the 9 beers, they're enabling you. They're not like, hey, man, I think we had a lot of beers.
They're like, oh, man, he just likes to drink.
Yeah, he's just having fun or whatever. Or like, I've had a friend that was kind of an enabler, and I had to distance myself for a little bit and then come back, you know, and change our friendship in a different way, because it'd be like, we enabled each other. Like, you're doing these things that you shouldn't with like women or whatever.
Yeah.
Not like creepy things or anything, but you know, if you're seeing somebody, maybe you shouldn't like keep plowing or keep prowling, you know.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like I was just doing all this. I was climbing on the fucking the fence at Clarion and Grill inside the bar, like on a Thursday while a cover band was going. I'm like climbing up the fence and the wall and stuff, like Vega from Street Fighter 2. And I even did the music too. I was like fucking out of my mind. I'm like, I don't know anyone that was more fun than me in my own mind.
Yeah.
And people like would always be like, oh, that's great or that's funny. And like, but like when that very same person is down and is by himself, no one is there to pick them up.
Yeah. Everyone was more fun with me, or more fun than me, but no one had as good of a time as me, or at least tried to.
They were more fun than you?
A lot. I mean, I don't like. At certain, I don't know. At certain times, man, like I can be very charismatic. I can hold a conversation.
Yeah.
With most people, and at times at college, dude, it shined. I would be like, I still believe there's a part of me that's like, yeah, I could maybe control my drinking like down the road or something, or like, but I'm basing this off of like, there were memories that I have where I wasn't going crazy with drinking. I'd be like at a gathering or something. I'd be like doing what everyone else is, like normal people, and I would have like these great experiences and be doing fun stuff. Be like, oh man, that's awesome, like Pat. Yeah. But they're like few and far between. And I would always try to relive and capture that like same level or that same moment with the internal idea of like, oh, I'm having so much fun. But to not be like, oh man, Patrick's so much fun. And be like, there's other people that were more fun, but I was having the best time.
Yeah, I was more fun, whether or not I was having the best time or not. There were times where I had been having a mediocre time, and I was still the most fun to be around.
Like
because I was like instigating some fun because I was trying to create it to my needs out of thin air.
Exactly.
Or like practically thin air. Like, oh, there's a table, we could play flip cup on this table, and I'd be like, it's time for flip cup. I wouldn't say it like that, but I should have. That would have been even better. I would have. If you invite me to a party, there's a decent chance the cops are getting called at that party, and then I was not necessarily the primary. I would be the instigator, but not like the reason.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like,
it does.
I like to play flip cup, and like I'll be loud, and I got other people be loud, and so there's a collective cacophonous noise from the back patio or whatever.
Yeah.
And
which you were like the prime catalyst.
Exactly. I mean, I remember being like, this party fucking sucks, and it was like 1 a.m, and I'm like, yo, let's go play some flip cup. Let's get these motherfuckers to play some flip cup.
Let's get this moving.
Let's get this fucking going. This is bullshit. And we brought out the cups, and all right, we're playing flip cup. Wasn't my place. Never met the people before.
Which is always the best, because
I miss that. I miss destroying, like...
I miss doing that, too.
Dominating a room with my ability to socially gather and, like, rally people. But it's not a harnessable skill for me. It never has been, because I'd always slip back to, like...
Yeah, exactly.
And it was like, I remember people like, you should work with events or something like that. And I'm like, no.
Nah,
I don't, because... When I make an event, no one comes. The only thing that I've ever done that was successful that was an event was I've done a couple fantasy football leagues, that one of which is still going.
There you go.
Which is good. And another one is the March Madness basketball pool that I do. And I've done that about 20 years out of 23 or something.
Which I enjoy. And I'm
fun.
A part of.
It's so fun. But that's a little easier, because it's like, it involves gambling. Guys like to gamble.
Yeah.
And guys like sports. You're combining these things.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do anything except give over $10 or in the basketball, and for the fantasy football, like $100 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Well,
and there's a machine that helps you do it.
Find an event planning job that only involves gambling and money.
Yeah,
which is gambling involves money.
Yeah, exactly. But I didn't want to work for a gambling company and stuff like that. It's just like, it's just an ability. It's like a spark.
It is a spark, and it's not you can't always count on a spark, right?
Yeah, and I could count on it around this time of year when fantasy football is starting up, or when March Madness. But that just makes me an Uncle Buck, Yeah. Like, that movie?
Love that movie.
Great fucking movie.
If you haven't seen Uncle Buck, please go ahead and watch
Turn
Uncle
this
Buck.
shit off and go watch Uncle Buck. John Hughes' masterpiece. John Candy was phenomenal.
Take a little bit off the kneecap?
Yeah. And he was like, Buck, this is your whole year, My dad used to say that to me, because of the March Madness. And like, it was, honestly, it's true.
Yeah.
So I didn't have enough discipline and stuff to, like, do something like this every day, or, like, something more constructive with the writing. Yeah. It's hard to have that spark and not know what to do with it, because I don't think I've really met anyone that is on all the time.
I have.
Is it weird?
It is. Yes and no. I've met people that have it on all the time that aren't weird. That are like the ideal. It's like they've set the bar of being like the ideal, charismatic, creative, smart individual who has all of it. And you're like, fuck, man. That's what I always tried to be.
That's a serial killer. You're describing a serial killer, a sociopath.
Yeah. But there's other people that are on all the time that are weird. It's because it's not like a normal.
Yeah, it's not. What? Without saying who it is, what is the example of this person that's charismatic and on all the time and really smart and jovial and stuff?
It was this guy. This guy knew it. This guy knew at JMU. He was the president of club tennis, but he fucking knew everyone. He was our class president. All these things. If you're listening, yeah, I mean, and we were friends, acquaintances, but it was he was nice enough and had niceties to be friends with everyone.
He knew everything about you without caring a lick about you.
Exactly.
He's a sociopath.
He would keep you at an arm's distance enough.
Yeah, he's a sociopath. He probably wants to be a politician or something.
He does. Yeah.
Of course. He's a fucking sociopath. Whereas my friend that got married, he knows everybody. He's friends with everybody. He can diffuse any situation. Yeah. And he gave this amazing speech at his own wedding, actually. And I was crying. I was in the misfits table.
Yeah.
There's one married couple that weren't misfits, although the guy was kind of a misfit. And then 3 single guys. We're in the fucking corner.
Oh,
I look and I wonder where our table is, friend. And we look and we're in the
we're in the back.
We're in the literal back corner. But he's in politics, but he should be a politician, let's run for something. Because the way he commanded this room, I mean, yeah, everyone's there for him and his bride, but just the way he's able to do that, you just want to fucking break social distancing and go to a wedding.
Yeah.
Like, he's a great guy, and, like, I want to be, like, sometimes people like this, you gotta, like, make an effort to stay in their lives and show them, like, dude,
Absolutely.
You're important. Like, I want to, moving forward, I want to be a part of your journey. Like,
yeah, I want to be involved.
It's almost like you want to be a part of their journey almost as much as you want them to be a part of your journey.
I think that's friendship in a nutshell.
Yeah, and so I was like, yeah, I'm going. Yeah. Like, but, like, that guy should be this type of person should be active politically, not the one that runs for the office of the minor office.
Yeah, that's like, let me just get in this position of power and then grow from it.
Yes, that's what he did, right?
Yeah.
Was he good at being the class president, whatever the fuck that means?
Yeah, that's a resume booster, 100%. I don't think he did shit.
Oh yeah, of course not. I was like the PR person for a communications association.
There you go.
And I didn't really have to do a lot, so
you were the communications person for the communications association. Yeah,
basically. And I helped with a bar crawl once. That was fun.
That probably was fun.
But they were going to change the name of the school, and they did. And this is an example of me being manic or hypomanic. But I was like kind of upset that they were changing the name for some reason.
Yeah.
I was like 20, and I was like 21.
This is stupid. I came in, it was this name, it should stay this name.
Yeah, it wasn't like that even. It was just like, I just came up with like a tagline or whatever. And I just was said in an email to the all-female rest of the group. And it was like, they wanted to change it to communication, arts, letters, and something. Calm something. And I was like, we will not remain calm. We will not be calm.
I like it.
And they're like, are you, what's wrong with you? One of them actually said, what is wrong with you? I was like, oh.
Nothing. I'm just really I'm an advocate for name.
So, but, that's like one more thing. Like, go in the shadows, weird boy, Go back to the shadows.
Dude,
even if they're right, it's not the way to, like, hey, like, that's not right.
It's
good messaging.
Not. You don't.
Like, what's wrong with you is not the.
It's not. Man,
it's not the way to present that.
All of
viewpoint. Fuck you, bitch.
All of fuck yeah, cunt.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's very. We're sitting on the casting couch once again outside on the Pizzorch. Dude, days like today just make me want to. Like, these are the types of days where I would, like, wake up, go outside, and be like, yeah, I'm going to drink today.
It's beautiful today. I want to, like, drink outside or, like, tailgate or just I want to sit in a pool and then get in a hot tub and a pool and a hot tub. I want to, like, subject my penis to so many wrinkles and just, like,
and just drastic changes
in temperature and sobriety levels.
Which probably kill... Dude, do you think hot tubs probably kill your sperm count? There's probably a correlation.
I mean, it doesn't really matter as long as you're still shooting loads.
Well, I mean, when you get to a certain age, because your sperm count naturally declines as you get older.
Yeah.
And if you already have, like, sperm count deficiencies...
Do you think you do?
I mean, I think aspartame's probably doing something.
Yeah. So is not having sex.
Yeah.
Your sperm count goes up when you have sex and stuff.
Well, when you jerk off, you're, like, stimulating it.
Kinda.
You have sperm production.
I mean, it goes away. Your sperm goes out, and more comes, and it's
in its place. It recycles.
It recycles sperm. What if you had to recycle your own sperm, like to keep your sperm count high? After you're like scooping it up, you're like jamming it back in your penis hole, or you drink it. You're
like, how do you get it back in? You gotta put it up your ass.
Put it up your ass. Shit up your asshole.
Man, you're always the guy to. I'm going back to this just because I had the thought I wanted to say. You're always the guy that, like, was the spark, like, oh, let's do this. Like, oh, like, that's fun.
Yeah.
I was always the guy that, like, if it was, like, a pregame or, like a mild social gathering, I would be the one to take the drinking to the next level. I would be like, all right, guys, like, all right, do you want to actually start drinking? People would be, like, sipping on a beer or something. I'd be on, like, beer number 3, and it would be, like, once someone makes a comment of, like, oh, man, I got to catch up, it's like, you noticed? Yeah, you are. Yeah, you better get ready to catch up.
Open your ass and spit in it. Oh, just close it again. I mean, what?
Wait, sorry?
I remember one time I was watching the Big Ten. We were getting ready to watch the Big Ten tournament, and it was like a Thursday, I want to say. Yeah, Thursday. MSU was one of the rare cases that they were playing on the first day of the tournament because they were like a 6 seed or something. 6 or 7 seed. in the Big Ten tournament. And we had some Wiener Schnitzel, so like not the good Wiener Schnitzel, but the place called Wiener Schnitzel, the hot dog place. 5 hot dogs for $5.
That's not bad.
And we were just fucking scarfing hot dogs down on my coffee table. And we're cracking beers, playing Thunderstruck.
Yeah, great game.
Great game. Thunder! Which, like, MSU comes out to Thunderstruck as every team does, and football. So it's like a little bit part of the Spartan lexicon. And so we were interested in that, obviously. We loved AC/DC, me and Joe especially. Our buddy Dan was there too. But I took a beer, I cracked it open, I like chug it for the rest of it down for Thunderstruck, and I was like, just tossed it through my apartment. I was like, I don't give a fuck.
Was it empty?
Yeah, it was empty, but I was like, fuck this place. You know, I was like, I could get to that level, and it was so, it straddled the line of sad and beautiful.
It did, but it was never like, that level was like perfect is what you wanted.
Yeah.
And there were times when I could attain it and keep it, and I probably did for like up until part of the way through my junior year, and then it was just, it got harder and harder to get to that level mentally because of all the shit that was going on like outside that like wasn't fun. It was like that level would have been good to keep or easier to maintain if I had all my ducks in a row.
Yeah, but I think if you had all your ducks in a row, you wouldn't be as interested in that. You'd be like, on to the next, whatever that is. Doesn't mean it's better. I mean, it is better. It's not more interesting or necessarily more meaningful, but I think it's being a productive member of society, even if you're you're really more of a cog.
Yeah.
You can create some good as a cog, like a family and like friendships and stuff, things that are nice for the world. More taxable income that they can do. Government theoretically could do good shit with, and they don't because they're stupid.
I think more mouths to feed is not necessarily a good thing for the world.
I think we need more mouths, man.
More mouches?
Yeah, I think we need at least 10 billion mouches.
10 billion. I think we need a natural plague to come through and wipe out part of our population.
You mean like now?
Like now.
Oh, God, yeah, this whole time is weird. You just have to, at a certain point, it's been so long that you just have to do what they say. Like, we're just following orders. Like, I don't know what else to do at this point. You follow and you question and you bitch a little bit, but I don't want you out there, if you're listening, I don't want you to believe in conspiracy theories.
Fuck that. All that shit's noise.
I don't want you getting in someone's face for not wearing a mask.
Also ridiculous. You don't have to be that person.
In any fashion, whether it's, like you're at a store and you're like, yeah, and then videotape someone, ruin their life because they don't.
No, it's because they should. No, it's not.
They're not afraid of something that you're afraid of.
Yourself.
Yeah. Only worried about yourself. You can look down on them. Good. You should look down on us.
Yeah.
Me and Patrice have gone places.
Yeah, absolutely.
More so. And like, is it great? No, but did I feel like I needed to be there? Maybe needed is the wrong word, but wanted to strongly to be there on behalf of someone? Yeah. No one wants to go to a fucking wedding. People want to go to a reception. But no one wants to make all the fuss about the shit.
No,
you just like it when you're there, and you don't think about it when you're not. Or you're like,
You take one for the team, and you go and you support someone.
You support someone, and you become part of the team, and then it becomes fun. And then it stops becoming fun when someone else dies. But yeah, don't, like, so wear a mask, wear a fucking mask, as we've said, like, but don't suddenly not treat someone like you would have before as, like, a human being just because they made a slip up.
I gotta poop.
Patrice is gonna poop. Alright, Patrice is back. He wiped back to front as requested. I encourage all degenerates out there to wipe back to front. Really see what you're doing. Yeah. Alright, so again, we're gonna ask for money now. Smoothest transitions in the game, baby.
Oh yeah.
Patreon.com/Degenerate Nation. Put forth some effort into supporting the show. And again, if you go up to $15 a month, you also get the writing course that I'm going to teach as well. So, yeah. If you have any questions about that, email me, degeneratenation@gmail.com. It's going to be poetry, short pieces, and working on a long-form narrative as well. So I'm going to mix all that up. Anyways, there's that plug. And now back to my favorite butt plug, Patrice.
Oh, hi, man.
What the fuck were we talking about?
I have no idea. I bet this is a fake mortgage call.
Call it. Answer it.
Hello?
We've been trying to reach you concerning your car's extended warranty.
Oh, Goo, you gotta extend that warranty, man.
Man, dude, I don't know what to do.
Since we have not gotten a response...
Extend the fuck out of that warranty, man. That's what you gotta do.
Dude, at least 10 hours.
Don't you have like a 2006 car?
Yeah, I do. That warranty's done, man. Yeah, I don't know what we were talking about. I gotta be honest.
You pooped your brains out.
My urge to poop lasted for like a good 2 minutes before I said anything. So I blacked out.
Yeah, I black out too. Like usually, except for the one I did at the hotel and the other day, and with Wendy dealing with her marriage. Like I don't really remember a lot of things I say. I just make the art, if you will, and just put it out there.
Art is, art lasts forever, but its creation is temporary.
Ooh, I like that.
You can only create art temporarily.
Mm-hmm.
You can't constantly create art unless you're George Lucas.
He goes periods without doing it.
I know. It was just first person that came to mind.
Episode 2 was technically art. Attack of the Clones.
It's art. Don't get me wrong, the Star Wars movies had some pretty groundbreaking CGI. It was just the amount that
the sheer amount of it was,
use.
a little bit much. It's just like, you might as well have done the whole thing CGI.
Yeah, really. But just make a whole animated movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have done those series.
Yeah, they have. The Clone Wars. It's actually a pretty good series. It holds up.
You've been watching any TV? I haven't watched shit.
Not much TV. My parents... My mom watches HGTV, and DIY Network.
That's right, man. Flip it or fuck off.
Flip it or fuck off. No, this needs at least 3.5 baths.
Yeah.
But they got a bar in the basement.
You need a half bath. It has a shower and no toilet.
Yeah. Don't you...
Are there any bathrooms that have that?
A bathroom and a toilet?
No sink. Like, no fucking sink.
Just a toilet?
Just a shower.
Just a shower?
Or a toilet with no sink would be hilarious.
It's just, we call that one the shit-up.
It's a shit where you just shit in there. There's not even, like,
there's,
hand sanitizer or nothing in there. No
there's,
soap. The lavenders.
There's actually some groundbreaking technology. It's a shit-up and a sink.
You wash your hands in it afterwards, after you flush. You reach down and fucking...
Yeah, this ousted spokesperson from Neutrogena said that if you use shit actually exfoliates your hands. So when you're done, that's how you wash your hands.
You're gonna have the softest hands, and you rinse it off in the bowl.
If it gives you a nice musky smell to it.
The key is you gotta shit before you piss.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Or do it while you're pissing.
Oh yeah, and wash your hands right on there. And the urine burns off the dead skin cells.
Yeah, that's right. It's acidification.
Acidification? Is that a word?
That is a word.
So you want to get on that Twitch this week?
Let's do it, man. Well, we're gonna bring you some treats from the Twitchosphere.
I need to write more like short pieces and like poems and stuff. I read the super bleak poem I did the other day. That was fun.
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep. It was like 5, 6 in the morning. And I just like beep 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 beep.
There you go.
Yeah, wrote a little ditty.
That's late.
Well, I had the mic, the the Nitro before I podcasted with Wenderson on Thursday.
Yeah, they're good. They'll keep you up. Do my caffeine tolerance and like what I can tell my body likes and what I like, and like when I'm not there, I can tell when I've not had enough, and then the tolerance is just ridiculous. It's like I get to a certain point, and then any amount over that doesn't do anything.
Weird. Well, I guess I was talking with my buddy, and he told me that like after a certain level, like things like acid, your body only takes so much of it.
Yeah,
and
acid.
It doesn't, because it's synthesized. It doesn't like absorb more and use more. It's like
if you take acid,
take 10 tabs instead of 3, and it does about the same.
False.
False. It does more.
Yeah.
So there's no diminishing returns on acid tabs.
There is, but here's the thing. If I take 1 tab of acid, it's like 150 mics. micrograms. And I take it, and I have a trip. And then the next day, I try and take a tab again. It's not going to work.
Oh.
And I don't know exactly the reason why, but you have to space out your trips. And you're like, that's not going to work. And you shouldn't trip like a couple days after you already tripped. You should space it out at least 2 weeks.
Really?
Typically, like people call it an afterglow. Like the mindset and the feeling and connection to the world and people around you, that typically lasts from like 2 weeks to 4 weeks.
Is there a mini depression afterwards?
No, not really.
Really? Because you don't come down from an afterglow into like an after shit?
An afterglow, it just kind of dissipates.
Okay.
It's this thing, you can't really tell when it's there and when it's not until you're at a certain point where like, man, I could probably trip again.
So is it like an orgasm for your brain for normal people that don't feel like shit like 5 minutes afterwards? After orgasm
actually,
and want to escape?
That's actually probably pretty accurate.
Or like have that self-loathing after they jerk off, where they're just like, I feel good. I think I'm gonna go sit.
Dude, I've jerked off and then like I feel like sitting in the same spot for 10 more minutes. But then when I'm done with that, I like have the urge to go and do shit. So it's like I'm jerking. It's like caffeine. It's like caffeine cum.
Caffeine cum. That's good because I feel like having the problem where don't feel like having the problem. I do have the problem where I will get off and then I'll feel good for a couple minutes unless I like go to sleep or if I'm with somebody that I really like, I just will then feel like I need to escape.
Yeah.
Like I need to escape their presence or escape my own presence in a way.
Yeah, I get that.
I know that is not normal, and I always knew that was probably not normal. But the way I dealt with it was like, all right, well maybe someday I'll jerk off and I won't feel like shit. Yeah. Or I'll be like, someday I'll find the person that makes me not feel like shit.
I'm just going to keep trying different techniques with my stroke and
exactly.
my
I would go, if I started going right-handed and had some pump control, maybe I'd feel
because you're better. A lefty.
Fucking left jerker.
That's weird.
Yeah, man. But
if I was a lefty, as our listeners know, I get like dick road rash from jerking off
with a strange hand.
Not with a strange hand. I literally think it's just the angle I go.
He also has a hook on his left hand. That's why he's such a good goalie. He deflates the ball.
Arg!
Arr! You think you're gonna get this ball in between your legs?
You're trying for the top titty, but my peg leg also gives me a boost.
He kicks it with his peg leg like 80 yards. But I discovered whatever that no, chances are it's probably you that just isn't gonna just not feel like shit about yourself after you do that. It's just that is what happens, and you can just deal with it and become better at dealing with it, and still pursue relationships or intercourse or masturbatory delight while simultaneously knowing that you're gonna feel bad probably and just coping with it. And that's again back to the sexuality of depression. That is
that's just called maturing. just knowing yourself, knowing your body.
Yeah, knowing myself and my body, knowing that I'm gonna squirt, I'm gonna feel like shit.
You're gonna squirt and then you're gonna hurt.
That's right. Bye.